This is a PowerPoint on Uldum quests. Starting, of course, with Druid and Untapped Potential. You would get Osirian Tear after you spend 4 turns with unspent mana. This is a very powerful quest. It saw a lot of play in Saviors of Uldum, and it did technically fall off because of, Descent of Dragons, things like that. I would say not because Untapped Potential was weak, or because of anything like that. I think it's just more Druid got significantly better cards in Descent of Dragons with, all the Dragon Druid synergy cards that were incredibly powerful. And then you roll around to like Ashes of Outlands and Skullman's Academy, and Druid just isn't really playable in those expansions at all. It's all about Demon Hunter, it's all about Warriors, the only playable classes during those expansions. And then you go to Darkmoon Faire, and by that point, you have, Survival of the Fittest Clown Druid, which, again, it's just more powerful than Untapped Potential. It's not that Untapped Potential was weak by any means, unlike a lot of the other quests we will talk about. It's just, there were better cards. I personally like this idea for Druid. It's effectively like the opposite of ramping, because you're wasting so much mana these turns. You're effectively de-ramping yourself to have this effect. And I think that's really cool to give Druid a powerful effect, like choose one cards being combined. I just wish they would print more synergistic cards with the unspent mana effect, like your Crystal Merchant, but better. Then, for Hunter, you have Unseal the Vault and Pharaoh's War Mask, to give all your minions +2 attack for 2 mana. This one was not that great in Saviors of Uldum, but with Descent of Dragons, you had Shuma. Shuma made this deck go from not really playable to incredibly strong. It was a very good deck during that time. You would just get so much value by having all of your, minions effect. Every time you summon a wide board, you would give it Pharaoh's War Mask on the same turn, and then on your next turn, you could push an incredible amount of damage by giving your whole board effectively +4 attack if that board lived. It was incredibly powerful in Standard. In Wild, summoning 20 minions is just actually impossible. I've tried at least 1 million times to make this work. I have this card in Golden and Wild. It just doesn't work. It's not possible to summon 20 minions throughout a game. There just aren't any good cards to do that. If you made it 10, it would probably be quite good, I would say. It probably would be genuinely a good card if it was summon 10 minions, but they're never going to do that, so it is unfortunate. If you do own Unseal the Vault, I would say that this is one of the safest disenchants of all time. Then you have Mage with Raid the Sky Temple. I don't have anything to say about this card because it's actually horrifically bad. This card at least kind of makes sense in the sense that, it wants you to play a lot of spells and then it gives you spells every single turn, but, this is such a bad card. Playing 10 spells, so it's not super reliant on if you can get it very early, and then, Ascendant Scroll is a bad hero power. It's a bad reward. It's not the worst reward. It's not the worst thing in the world. It costs 2 less, is quite good. Sorry about that. And it's not, it's Primordial Glyph as your hero power every single turn. If you discovered, it would be a lot better, but you don't for some reason. Don't ask me why. Would it be good? No. But at least it kind of makes sense. When we get to another one on here, you're gonna, that just completely makes no sense. A lot of the Uldum quests are bad. I feel like I have to preface this. Uldum quests are very bad, and a lot of them don't really make much sense to themselves. When you go back to talk about Unseal the Vault, that one makes a lot of sense, right? You're gonna summon a lot of minions anyway, so you want to be, so it makes sense that your hero power gives you +2 attack. The Osirian Tear, that's just the condition for a very powerful, effect that lasts permanently. Ascendant Scroll at least kind of makes sense to itself. Then for Paladin, you have Making Mummies. Again, this one does at least make a little bit of sense, with play 5 Reborn minions, and then you get Emperor's Wraps to summon a 2/2 copy of a friendly minion. This one's just really unfortunate because Reborn in Paladin was terrible. The 2 Paladin Reborn cards that were printed for this expansion are very bad. The only really good Reborn minion in Uldum was Cartooth Defender, so Making Mummies was just bad out of the gate, not even because it's a weak effect. Summoning a 2/2 copy of your minions is actually quite good. It's just playing Reborn minions is impossible. It's actually impossible to play 5 Reborn minions because they're bad. Reborn minions suck. I think they've also only given Paladin one Reborn minion in the 5 years since this card has come out. And it's a dual class card. So you can understand why this card is so weak. It's just, I don't know. It's unreal. Also, that was a lie. I'm sorry. I forgot they, while I was saying that, I forgot they printed Shotbot in the Galakron's Awakening mini set kind of thing. So, sorry. 2 Reborn cards. 2 Reborn cards. Forgot about Shotbot. I know. But then you have Priest with Activate the Obelisk and Obelisk's Eye. Restore 3 health. If you target a minion, give it +3/+3. This one is actually very strong. It saw a lot of play in both Standard and Wild. It was genuinely incredibly powerful. You would actually have aggro decks that wouldn't attack their opponent's face until they had a big enough board to pressure them into killing them because you didn't want to give them Obelisk's Eye because they could only restore health by getting damaged by the opponent. It was genuinely very powerful because it just gives you so much value. It makes your inner fire combos better because you can just keep building minions on board to eventually have your inner fire kill your opponent and just pressure your opponent through this hero power. Genuinely, this is one of the better Uldum quests. Then, the card I was talking about the whole time is Bizarre Burglary. This card makes absolutely no sense. Add 4 cards from other classes to your hand was actually quite hard back in Uldum. Nowadays, it's incredibly easy because you have Twisted Pack, but that doesn't change anything because Ancient Blades is one of the worst quest rewards in the entire game. I would say that it might be the worst. All it does is it gives you you equip a 3/2 blade with immune while attacking for 2 mana. And imagine this when it would take you probably until turn 4 or 5 to be able to get this reward back in the day. What were they thinking behind this card? I genuinely don't know what they were thinking behind this card. It's absolutely atrocious. It's never been good. The quest, you can literally complete on turn 1. This is the only quest in the entire game you can complete on turn 1, and it's still terrible. That's how bad the reward is. Then, for Shaman, you have Corrupt the Waters to get Heart of Vilnar? I don't know how to pronounce that. And then it makes your battle cries trigger twice, of course. This one was incredible. It's time and standard, but it really was at its best in pre-nerf Galakron Shaman during Descent of Dragons, because you could hero power with your Galakron in the same turn and build a big board of 4 8/8s, and it was actually impossible for opponents to deal with at the time. It's part of the reason why Galakron got so many nerfs in Shaman. It's part of the reason why Galakron was so powerful, but it was just crazy. This card has seen play in Wild, like through people that just want to play in Shutterwalk Shaman. Is it good in Shutterwalk Shaman? Absolutely not. It's such a waste of cards. It doesn't actually make your deck any better because Shutterwalk Shaman's already king of the late game anyway, so it doesn't really change anything to get the value from it. But people do it for fun. Would I do that? No. It's actually just such a detriment to lose 1 draw just for this. It's genuinely not better than anything else in your deck, so it is a bit unfortunate. Then you have Warlock and Supreme Archaeology. Unsurprisingly, this one is, again, terrible. This one, at least, again, makes sense, but design-wise, I'm just baffled by Bizarre Burglary, personally. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me, and I can't get over it. But Supreme Archaeology, draw 20 cards, and then you get Tome of Origination, which draw a card, it costs 0. In theory, that should be a very powerful effect, but it just wasn't really able to live up to that. Some people did try and play like a Dragon Warlock with Supreme Archaeology, but from my knowledge, it wasn't very good. Regular Dragon Warlock without Supreme Archaeology was just better. So maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe it was not terrible, but I can't remember. I just can't imagine that deck being any good, like thinking about it. And of course, Tome of Origination isn't a bad reward. It's not that hard to complete Supreme Archaeology. In fact, it's easy. It's the easiest it's ever been with Gaslight Gatekeeper now in the game. It's just, why would you ever play Tome of Origination? Like, why would you ever want to have Tome of Origination? Is more of the thing. To make value from this card, you have to be able to either like dredge a minion on the top of your deck to make it work, or high roll, or play like a long value game where you could have Tome of Origination, stuff like that. And then, like, why would you ever do that when you could just play Questline and Warlock? It's better, it's faster, it's more consistent. There's just no reason to play it. quite unfortunate, because this card could be very cool if it at least, like, said, like, draw your highest cost card, maybe, as on the hero power, something like that. It would probably be quite decent. But most of the time, you're drawing super cheap cards that you don't care about anyway, or soul fragments, because a easy way to make this work at the time was soul fragments, and guess what? The soul fragments screw over your hero power. It's just weird. I don't know. Then for warrior, wow, who could have guessed? Another bad quest. This one's so terrible. I mean, like, I don't even know what to say about it. At least the Anerfet's Core is a better reward than your Ancient Blades, because at least you get a 4-3. A 4-3 is better than a 3-2 weapon. But Hack the System is incredibly hard to complete. At the time, you had, like, no good weapons in Warrior. You had, like, Soul Thrays. You know, 6 mana, 4/4 overkill, attack again. Terrible card. Such a bad card. Why is it 6 mana? Why? I don't know. So there's no real good ways to make this work. I think if Whetstone Hatchet was in Standard, when Hack the System was in Standard, it would have been an okay quest. It wouldn't have been amazing, don't get me wrong, but Whetstone Hatchet almost completes the quest on its own for one card. It's, you know, it's 1 mana, 1/4, give a minion in your hand +1 attack whenever you attack. Nothing crazy, it's just because it's a 1 mana, 1/4 weapon. And then you would have been able to use this hero power a few times. The issue is, I don't think you would have cared even. I think this card would have been okay, but why would you ever play this over your Dr. Boom Mad Genius? Because the hero power gets replaced by Dr. Boom Mad Genius. Like I'm saying, there's just no point behind a lot of these cards, because they just don't really function at all, and they're just bad. The Uldum quests are bad. I'm sorry if you like them. It's not, I don't even dislike them. I like a lot of them. I like Unseal the Vault. It was fun to play with. It's just a bad card. These cards are so bad. I don't get it. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what your favorite quest is down below. Do you dislike any of these quests? How would you change these quests? And make sure to join the giveaway. If you comment your favorite Hearthstone card down below and you are subscribed, you can enter to win a Perils in Paradise pre-order. And then as well, if you become a member, you can enter that giveaway as well. And thank you to Alakir and Kobe Kent for being 2 new members. I'm now up to 6, which means I can get emotes. And that's really funny. If you have emote ideas, I would love to get those as well. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Rising again!
Darker than they've ever been. It's evil